Hey there guys, an event like this will certainly get my attention because this is recommended PR. So skill comes into play and strategy. So yes, I am semi-retired if you haven't been on my channel before, but hey, you're still gonna see some fancy driving. We'll have some fun with this. Try to earn this one as cheap as possible. So if you haven't been around my channel before, then you need to know that in a recommended PR event, you don't have to buy upgrades unless you want to or need to. So some people don't mind spending a whole bunch of currency, but oh boy. But I don't want to because that's how I have so much currency. I haven't done any test drives. This is my first time driving this thing, okay? So there's gonna be some mistakes as I learn this car. I didn't even look at the specs yet, so I didn't prepare myself for the grip or the brakes. I'm just gonna drive it and see how it goes. Now, rules of recommended PR events. Only do what they ask you to do. So don't finish any higher than you have to. You gotta pay attention to the requirements of a race. This one said finish 10th, only finish 10th. And finish 10th by a really small margin. So make sure there's someone close on your bumper so you can finish 10th. Now let's talk about the Lamborghini Sian a little bit. A lot of people were asking, how come my Lamborghini's missing its rear wing? Where's the rear spoiler? What's going on here? It's dynamic. It comes out once you start the car. So the pictures we have in the game have been the car stopped. And now you can see there's the spoiler, rear wing, whatever we're going to be calling it here. I really blew that. I didn't want to plow into the guy. So I better let him overtake me because that was an illegal overtake. I'm giving it back. And now I will pass this Porsche. And there we go. Even though it doesn't matter, I didn't have to give it back. But hey, a lot of you guys hound me about how I drive sometimes. So let's do some drifting. Yes, this can drift. Fun little car. Can't really tell you much else about it. I guess we'll just see how this goes. It's an extremely powerful car in real life. Extremely, looks like a pretty exciting car to drive. Love to get my hands on one, but that's not happening, so that's why we do this game, right? So we can get our hands on cars that we will never see in real life, and even if we did, we probably wouldn't do this. We probably wouldn't be drifting them around Circuit de Catalunya. Now, I was trying to do something and I didn't really want to hit the wall, and I realized you can't do a donut. This is going to be an all-wheel drive car, but I thought I'd give it a shot, and the donuts didn't work, but you can certainly drift all-wheel cars quite nicely, actually. They usually drift pretty good in Real Racing 3. Now, if you've been around my channel in the past and you know how I do things in the past, my format's going to be different. This is going to be quicker. I'm going to be skipping a lot of the in-between storyline screens. I don't have as much time to make videos as I used to, which you guys know. I fully retired, but then all you fans taught me that I don't have to be, so I am semi-retired. I'll make races as I can. Awesome events like this, I will come out of hiding. I shouldn't call it hiding. Come out of semi-retirement. So there you go, that's one of the changes. We're just gonna go right into the next race. We're not gonna have all that blah, blah, blah from whoever said whatever. Honestly, sometimes, guys, I didn't even read it anyways, but if you really wanna see it, you can check out some other channels. I'm pretty sure Speedmaster probably has the whole storyline up, and that's great. So check out Speedmaster, another guy who makes great videos. We're both game changers. Speed Junkie might be doing the series as well, and he's really amazing racer. Often he can get the top times out there. Okay, so this one, to overtake 5 unique cars. Now I didn't test this. Most likely that means you can't pass the same car 5 times. So in some of these events, I would have let that car, that old Porsche, take me back, and then I'd pass him again, and then let him pass me and pass him again. But when it says unique, that means you got to pass 5 different cars. And I didn't check to see if this was a field of only 12 cars. Like maybe I could have slowed down, but none of that matters because I have to get into, I think it's position 7. So, and again, if it says you must get into position 7, only get into position 7. Don't go any higher. You could, and you'll earn a little bit more, but you're gonna suffer for that on like day 5 or 6. A whole bunch of people start complaining, how come it cost me so much? How come my bots are so much faster? How come my version of the game is so much harder? It's not. We all have the same version of the game. It's harder because you drove more aggressively. So that's the way this game works. the higher you finish in a race and the more you beat first place by, the harder it's going to get next time. Now, it does have a maximum level, which is too bad in a way, because some of us would like it a lot harder than it is, but it does cap out. So in an event like this, where you want to see if you can win with no upgrades or as few as possible, then don't finish by very much. I used to do stuff like even make a race take a long time. I don't do that anymore. I don't think that actually helps. But the rule is, if you're going to lose, lose big. You can only lower difficulty when you are at recommended PR or over. If you're under recommended PR, you cannot slow the bots down. You can't lower the targets. If that sounds strange to you, what I'm talking about is, let's say this was a speed snap event and it said to finish, I had to hit 200. Well, okay, I'll finish that multiple times with only 50, and you'll see the target can come down. Won't work if you are below recommended PR. So there you go. Hey, look at this. You know me, you know I never drive pilot view, and I thought, you know, let's give this a shot. I don't have a lot of pressure on my tail. With some of the changes to the graphics, I'm having to find new breaking points. A lot of us are, and some of that's pretty frustrating, but I'm adapting pretty quickly. As you can see, I've already adapted pretty quickly, right? You compare this to my first race of today, which was just a few minutes ago, and hey, I'm already doing driver view and I'm not making horrible mistakes. There's a section of the wall on the right coming up, and I got to brake before that, I think, to get a nice turn into this really tight hairpin. Let's just see here. That's okay. And coming into the back section of this track, where we have another tight chicane, which you can often go off track on. You could if you want to. I'm not a real stickler for, I don't care in an event like this. If you want to go off track, go off track. Here I'm going to waste a little bit of time because I need 8th place to catch up. Where'd he go? Come on. See, oh look, my spoiler tucked in again. Or is it just tucked in a little bit? Well, there it looks like it's raised up. Okay, it's just hard to see in that rear camera view. There you go. Who's behind me anyways? Is that Ahmed? Probably. Okay, so that finishes off race number 2. I'll show you the earnings for that race. And here we are at race 3 of stage 1. Again, no upgrades required. Oh, Magnus is in this one. Oh my. Magnus, an ME7 at Circuit de Catalunya. Okay guys, tell me you've seen the video. Tell me you know what this is going to be about. This is where one of my most amazing and potentially tragic races happened with Magnus, where he got horribly stuck in not one, but 2 walls. And I theorized, or I suggested that maybe he died or maybe he went crazy. Obviously he's not dead, but it is a legendary video. I'll throw a link up to it at the end of this because it's really hilarious. It's a really funny game glitch that happens. It was back in the day when if a bot got stuck in a wall, he could get stuck there forever. Same with us. Used to be if we got stuck in a wall, couldn't do anything about it. You have to crash the game and start over. Now we have an automatic extraction feature that'll kick in after 3 seconds, and your car will just reappear somewhere on the track sometimes. It used to go shooting out of the wall, which was awesome. Sometimes still happens. But anyhow, this race just got to get into 3rd place. Now, again, I'd suggest don't win. It's just not worth it. The little tiny extra earnings you get for winning, it's going to make it a lot harder on you if you place higher than you have to, a lot. I mean, if you do it just one race, whatever. But if you do a lot of that, yeah, it's going to get a lot harder for you, and you probably don't want that. Unless you got piles of currency, or unless you're already planning to do heavy upgrades, that's fine. I don't know that I will. Oops, didn't mean to tag him. Okay, let's get a little bit aggressive here. I'll get my brakes on. He's got horrible brakes, I remember that one. Oh, and there they are. There is the front pack. So looks like it is within our grasp to win the race, but I don't want to. I mean, don't get me wrong, I always want to win. So, who am I looking at here? Who's this? Oops. Uh-oh. Come on, get out of there. Oops, didn't mean to do that. You know what? I often have the names and the avatars disabled because I find them really distracting sometimes. Sometimes they're in the way of me seeing a breaking point. I want to see, aha, Magnus. I will catch him and rough him up a lot. This goes back years. You guys, OG players, the original players, you'll know that we've had so many dialogues with whiny little Magnus, where he complains, he says he's the best, and then we beat him fair and square, and he calls us cheaters, and he's really made this whole big deal out of it. Now, I've actually brought Magnus to life for a couple of videos, like I actually animated him, which is a ton of work. My gosh, you wouldn't believe it. It was like probably half an hour of work to get like 8 seconds of him talking. But anyway, it's a pretty cool video. MP4X at Le Mans, staying on track with Magnus trying to catch me cheating. I'll throw the link to that video up in the right hand corner there. Pretty cool video if you haven't seen it. Here I was trying to set up the legendary thing that happened in the past, and it didn't quite work right, so I'll just give him a big hit. Is that a Porsche 918? I think that is. Yes, it is. That looks like a Porsche 918. Well, that's kind of funny. That's one of the earlier races that we faced him in. Not the first, though, I don't think. King of the Ring, I think, might have been the first. Okay, so I need to make sure I'm in third place, and these guys are really stacked up. So Magnus right behind me, Ahmed right in front of me. I'll slow down and let Magnus catch up. I want him right on my bumper when I win. Gotta be careful doing this. I really should take a look behind me because you could have the 5th place car suddenly pass you. Okay, that's it. That's it for stage 1. Throw up some links here. I'll let you see the earnings, and I'll do the whole series. Playlist link will be here whenever I create it. Thanks for joining me, guys. Like and subscribe if you will. Bye-bye.